Hi, welcome to the second video. Yeah, so in this video, we will be creating a token and we'll be depositing that token into this contract. So the token that we'll be creating, we will be using this ERC20 token. Yeah. So let's just copy this bit of code because, like I said, we're going to be using Open Zeppelin. We're not going to reinvent the wheel. So what have we done here? We are importing the ERC20 contract from this location. Now, you should have no problem doing this in like your remix because remix recognizes Open Zeppelin contracts. If I come into artifacts here and I don't think it has compiled it yet. Run compile. Yeah, okay, this is it. Um, it says the contract already. It's called GLD token, but I'm going to rename it to something else. Okay, so let's call it token. My colleague says that. Let's do so we're going to call our token gold. We're going to use the logo GLD. We are going to set the initial supply to a value, and then the person who deploys this contract, um, we are going to mint. So this mint is a function that takes in a tool address and an amount. So we're going to mint to the deployer, which is the message sender, the person sending this message, the total initial supply. So yeah, let's do that. So let's come here, token.sol, initial supply. Remember in the last video, I talked to you about precision values. We're going to be dealing with them here. So first of all, let me show you if I deploy a contract with 500. Um, Boom. As you can see, it has all these functions, approve, transfer, all those things. It has all these functions even though you can't see them here. And this is where I bring the first topic called inheritance. Now, the reason why you can't see any of these functions is because this contract that I'm writing called token is inheriting all these functions from an ERC20 contract, which is ERC20.sol. So that's why you can't see any of these functions within the contract. But I can show it to you so you know where it is. So if you come onto, you hover over ERC20, maybe you use command. If you're on Mac, you can use command. I think if you're on Windows, I think it's shift. And you see this becomes clickable and you click on it, it then takes you to, it says the implementation of an IERC20 interface. Um, so this is the contract that the token contract is inheriting. So when you inherit something, it means that it's kind of like when you leave a will for your son or your dad leaves a will for you. Basically, you inherit everything you owned. So that means you inherit things like the constructor, the name, the symbol, the decimals, all those functions. You inherit everything, and that's why you can see them here. So this contract is called an abstract contract. It's a type of contract that you technically don't deploy, but you inherit. So it's a special case of a contract that all you do is inherit stuff. As you can see, the ERC20 itself is inherits something called a context, IERC20, all this. You don't need to bother yourself with all of this. This you just focus on like what we are currently doing. You can read, you can look into it if you're curious, not more than that. So let's see some things about the contract that we deployed. I think we can go back to token. So token is ERC20 token. What do we know? When we deployed it, we passed in 500. Total supply, 500. When we deployed it, we made the symbol GLD. GLD. The name of the token is called gold, and um, the decimals that it has is 18 decimals. So you have 500. So this decimals currently is a value. Let me show you what this decimals is. Can you see 18? That's what this is. So it just returns 18. So we're supposed to use these decimals because 500 is 500. 500 raised to the power 18 is the kind of number that we use on chain. Remember this big number? We use big numbers because of precision. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to redeploy one with the correct decimal, right? And I'm going to show you that different tokens have different decimals. It's just a small thing I'll show you in this course. So here, if I come here and I say multiply this by decimals, what you're going to see this time around is when I deploy this, the balance would be 500 times 10 raised to the power. No, decimals returns 18. So I want to check something. So usually it's going to be 500. It should be 500 times 10 raised to the power 18. It should be 500 times 10 raised to the power 18. Let's see what it does. Let's do 500. Yeah. So what it did 500 raised to power 18. This is nonsense. This is not what we want to achieve. So what we want is 500 times 10 raised to the power 18. So I'm going to leave this so you can see the difference. So let's come here. This is a new one that we just deployed. Can you see? 500 times 10 raised to the power 18. That's what we want, not this. So the raised to power is double star. Multiplication is single star. So we obviously don't need this. So we can throw it out. So yeah, so that means we have 500 different tokens. Yeah. Now this, like I said, we're going to be depositing this into our deposits contract. Actually, I should rename that contract to, let's call it management contract. It's not a great name, but I mean it will do. Management contract, yeah. So I'm gonna end this video here, and in the next video we'll be doing the deposit. Okay.